To begin the body scan, find a comfortable position. You may do this lying down or sitting upright in a chair. Now let's bring our attention to our left foot. And you may notice any sensations on the skin. You may notice your toes. You may notice the parts of your foot that is making contact with the ground below you. And you might notice the part of the foot that's making contact with your ankle. If you notice any sensations or discomfort, see if you can allow the experience to be exactly what it is without needing to change it in any way. Next, let's bring our attention to our left ankle. Again, you may notice any sensations or feelings in your left ankle. If not, you can notice that as well. Noticing the part of the left ankle that is connected to your lower leg. And moving up from your left ankle into your lower left leg, noticing your calves and your shin. Oftentimes we are so disconnected from our own bodies, but our body has a lot of wisdom, and it's really the first place where you may notice that something is wrong. And moving up from your left lower leg to your left knee. And as we do the body scan, you may notice or become aware of the fact that your body is different than the one that you were born with. You may be missing pieces of your body, or you may have replacement parts. You may have mechanical parts. And you may notice some emotion or judgment around that. And if you do, again, just allow that experience to be what it is. And moving up from your left knee up to your left upper leg. Noticing the front of the thigh area and the back of the leg. You might sense into the part of the upper leg that's making contact with whatever surface is below you. The body scan isn't about straining or making an effort. In fact, it's just the opposite. It's the allowing things to be the way it is and actually letting go of the inner dialogue and the judgment around our body not being good enough, not being strong enough. And really just noticing and appreciating our body just the way it is. And now let's bring our attention to our entire left leg, all the way from your toes, all the way up to the part of your left leg that's making contact with the torso. And let's just pause for a couple of breaths here, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. And now moving over to our right leg, let's bring our attention all the way down to our right foot. Noticing the top of the foot, the bottom, the arch of your foot, noticing the heel and all of your toes. And really just pay attention to your right foot with curiosity, just like a scientist would. How does it feel? Or maybe there's no sensation. Whatever the experience is being, it's perfectly okay. Noticing our left foot and noticing the point of our left foot that's making contact with our right ankle, and moving up our attention to our right ankle. You might notice the back of the ankle or the top of the ankle. Noticing the natural curve. Now moving our attention from the right ankle up to our right calves and our lower right leg. Noticing the front, the shin, and the back, the calves. If you notice any thoughts that may arise, simply acknowledge the thought and bring yourself back to your right lower leg. Next, I invite you to bring your attention from your right lower leg up to your right knee. Our knee is so important for our mobility. And you might find it helpful to notice each part of your body from the outside in. So you can imagine the skin, the layer of fat, the veins, the muscle and the bone, and all the different cells. It's really incredible how our body works without us attending to it all the time. Now moving up from our right knee up to our right upper leg. Noticing the upper thigh and noticing the back of our upper leg that's making contact with the surface below. Maybe the chair, or maybe it's the mat that you're lying on. Can you notice the pressure more so in one part than in another? Can you notice or feel the sensation of your clothing as it makes contact with your upper right leg? And now let's bring our attention to our entire right leg, from our right toes all the way up to the part of our leg that's making contact with our torso. And let's just pause and take 3 deep breaths, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, and breathing out. And now let's bring our attention to our pelvic area, the area of our genital and our anus. The part of our body that's responsible for the reproduction organ and the functions of elimination. And you might notice any feelings or emotions that may arise when you bring your attention to this part of your body. And just allowing it to be. Next, let's bring our attention up to our belly. The belly can be a place where we hold a lot of emotional energy. And we don't need to try to force anything, to force it to change or be different. The body scan is all about just noticing our body state exactly the way it is, and looking at it with curiosity. And we may find that over time, the feelings, the emotions, the sensations may change, or it may not. Moving from our tummy, coming around to our back, and just sensing our lower back. Again, this can be a place where we hold some tension, or there may be some pain or discomfort. So just notice it with a little bit of kindness and gentleness. If you notice pain or discomfort, you might just try to breathe into that spot and notice if the pain changes. Does it get more intense? Does it stay the same? Or maybe it gets a little bit better. And what happens when you take the next breath and notice your lower back? How is it then? And now moving up to the middle of our back. And you might just imagine the spine, all the vertebrae, how it's stacked up on top of each other, giving us the ability to move and to sit upright. And now let's bring our attention around to the front of our body and noticing our heart center. How does your heart feel? Noticing your lungs. And if you notice that your mind has wandered off to some other place, aside from noticing your heart center, just gently guide yourself back into this moment. Now let's bring our attention to our left hand and noticing each of your fingers, your fingertips, the top of your hand, the palm, the part of your left hand that makes contact with your right wrist. You might notice the temperature, that sensation. Again, just allowing the experience to be exactly what it is. That is the core of practicing mindfulness. And now moving up from our left hand into our left wrist. And from our left wrist, we move up into our left lower arm, the forearm. Many of us spend a lot of time on the keyboard. You might notice some sensitivity or some tenderness. And I invite you to just try to breathe into that place where you may notice a little bit of discomfort. And just notice, how does the sensation change? All we're doing is just noticing whatever may arise without demanding that it be better or that it change. And now moving into our left elbow. And from our elbow, we move into our upper left arm, the triceps, and the bicep. And now let's bring our attention to our entire left arm, all the way from the tip of our left fingers, all the way up to our left shoulder. And bringing our attention to our left shoulder, our left armpit, and now let's move over to the other side of our body and bringing our attention to our right hand. Again, noticing the fingertips, the fingers, the top of our hand, the palm. Might notice the temperature of your hand. Is it sweaty? Is it cold? Is it warm? Is there any sensation that you may notice? Or maybe there's no sensation, and that's perfectly okay as well. And moving up to our right wrist. And just allowing the wrist to be exactly the way it is. See if we can cultivate a sense of kindness or loving kindness, and a sense of tenderness toward ourselves and our body. And moving our attention to our right lower arm, the forearm, noticing the top and the bottom. See if there's a difference between how the top or the bottom feels. And moving up from our lower right arm up to our right elbow. What does the elbow feel like? There's no right or wrong, no good or bad. It's just what it is. This moment, your body, just exactly the way it needs to be in this moment. And now bringing our attention to our upper right arm, the bicep, the tricep. And noticing the part of our right upper arm that's connected to our right shoulder. And bringing our entire attention to our right arm, all the way from our fingertips, all the way through our right shoulder. And now let's bring our attention to both the shoulders, both the right and the left. Noticing any pain or tenderness or tingling or itchiness, whatever feelings you may notice. And moving up into our neck. and moving up even more into our jaw. The part of our body that's responsible for allowing us to speak and to eat. And noticing our entire mouth, from the lips to a teeth to a tongue. Noticing your cheeks. And moving up into our nose area, our sinus. Might notice, is there a difference between the air moving in and out of your right nostril versus your left? And moving up into your eyes, your right and your left. How does it feel to have your eyes closed and to bring your attention inwards? And moving up our attention to our forehead. And noticing the back of our head. So from the top all the way down to your brainstem area, the very bottom of your head where it meets your neck. And just noticing that entire area. And now let's bring our attention to our entire body, from your toes all the way up to the very top of your head. And let's take 3 breaths, breathing in and breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, and breathing out. And let's just pause for a moment to give ourselves thanks for taking time out of our very busy lives to turn our attention inwards, to pay attention to what's going on inside of ourselves, and noticing our body, this very precious body, the only one that we are given. May you be happy. May you be free from suffering. May all beings be happy and free from suffering. And whenever you're ready, you might want to make some gentle movements and very slowly open your eyes.